organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, cramming for finals. We'll tell you why you may be putting more in than you're getting out.
Plus, 3.5 years later, why the UI is still behind in flood recovery efforts.
And you've seen him on the football field, but now former Hawkeye Colin Sandeman is teaching in the classroom. Hear what the former safety has to say about his new gig coming up in sports.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Thanks for tuning in to your Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan. I'm John Dedcott.
And I'm Megan Grody. Finals week is in full swing at the UI, meaning stressful days, long nights, and cramming for exams. Although many students may feel that cramming is their last resort, Daily Iowan TV's Brad Maxwell tells us why this method could be doing more harm than good.
It's finally here, the week every college student dreads, finals week. Every semester, thousands of students vow to develop better study habits, but oftentimes, many find themselves right back in the same position, cramming for tests.
Lots of studying, going from the IMU to the library, from the library to the IMU, waking up and studying, eating. It's a routine.
The textbooks open up, the coffee comes out, and sleeping takes a back seat. One common hotspot where UI students gather for last-minute studying is the main library. It's not uncommon to see students hitting the books until 2, 3, or even 4 in the morning, as UI student Stephanie Cardenas explained.
For finals week, I would stay in the library 5 hours, in the IMU till the morning, dawn.
Many students view cramming as the best option for receiving a good test score. However, health officials such as Tricia Schultz are disagreeing.
Research has really shown that students only perform at 50 to 70% efficiency when they're sleep deprived. So it's really important that students are making time for sleep during finals week.
Although studying is all part of finals week, health officials suggest getting a full night's rest has more benefit than pulling an all-nighter. According to a University of Texas professor, sleeping not only helps your brain retain information, but also helps improve your mood and reduce stress. Schultz had a similar outlook on cramming.
The lack of sleep and increase in stress definitely can reduce immune function. So students who are exposed to viruses are a lot more likely to pick up the illness and get sick. They're also more likely to take time to recover than students who aren't stressed and have gotten enough sleep.
Finals are a stressful time for college students. But next time you're thinking about pulling an all-nighter, consider giving your body a little rest. I'm Brad Maxwell, Daily Iowan TV.
Health officials recommended at least 7 hours of sleep per night and encourage students to practice safe study habits during finals week.
One of every traveler's greatest fears is going on vacation and coming home to find you've been robbed. That's why the Iowa City Police Department is encouraging all students heading home for the holidays to take extra precautions against burglaries over winter break. Police say taking simple steps such as leaving lights and TVs on timers, making sure blinds are closed, and, of course, locking doors and windows can all be effective ways to help keep you and your belongings safe.
And if you're driving home in the next couple days, make sure you're not on the phone. On Tuesday, the National Transportation Safety Board recommended a nationwide ban on cell phones and other handheld devices. The recommended ban would affect both handheld and hands-free devices, but would permit systems built into the cars themselves. According to a recent study, at any given moment during the day in the United States, 13.5 million drivers are using handheld devices. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said last year more than 3,000 people are killed in traffic accidents involving distracted drivers.
And the University of Iowa Credit Union is planning to close its campus offices next semester. Officials recently announced the credit union will be pulling its offices out of the IMU and the UIHC over break. The contract between the UI and the credit union expires on December 16th, but if you do bank with the credit union, there's no need to worry. Their locations in Coralville and Iowa City will remain open. Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, how the UI is still struggling to cope with the devastating 2008 flooding.
Plus, in sports, we hand out our award for the top female athlete of the fall semester. But first, Daily Iowan TV's Brad Maxwell joins us in the studio for a look at your local weather forecast.
Thanks, guys. Looks like tomorrow's going to be a wet one, with rain expected throughout the day. In the morning, we're looking at temps right around 45 degrees with a 90% chance of rain. That percentage won't change as the temps move up to 49 in the afternoon. In the evening, expect the rain to continue as we drop back down to around 47 degrees. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, don't expect the weather to last. We're looking at highs of 38 on Thursday and 32 on Friday with sunny skies. 34 is the high for Saturday, and we may hit the 40s again Thursday with a high of 41. There could be more rain moving in Monday, and next Tuesday, we're looking at temps still in the low 30s. That's your check of the weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
It's been 3.5 years since the devastation of the 2008 Iowa flooding. Daily Iowan TV's Josh Bolander takes a look back and tells us where the UI is today.
Just a few years ago, the floods of 2008 devastated homes, families, property, and universities across the state of Iowa. The estimated total cost of rebuilding the destruction, massive. And yet, since the 3.5 years since the wreckage of the most costly natural disaster in the state's history, both the state and the University of Iowa have bounced back. Campus dormitories bordering the Iowa River are now fully functional. Offices once deemed unusable in the summer of 2008 are now occupied by professors. And the Iowa Memorial Union, which is still on its way back, has seen its on-campus stores and main floor renovated. Overall, the floods of the Upper Iowa, Turkey, Maquoketa, Iowa, Cedar, Skunk, and Des Moines River caused an estimated $64 billion worth of damage. While the UI has bounced back, funding from the Federal Emergency Management Agency is now being limited, leaving the estimated completion dates of renovation on the school's Honcher Auditorium, Studio Arts Facility, and Music Academic buildings in question. With students graduating early never getting to experience the changes made to the UI campus post-flood, it remains to be seen whether new classes of students will be delayed access in the future as well. Josh Bolander, Daily Iowan TV.
And despite progress in the IMU and other buildings, Hancher Auditorium, the Studio Arts Building, and the UI's music facilities are all still under renovation.
An Iowa City man was arrested Tuesday after allegedly fighting with police. Police say 22-year-old Patrick Horace was seen driving erratically early Tuesday morning, swiping a parked car and a tree. Reports show that after cops pulled him over, he fled, and when officers were able to make contact, Horace fought, punching an officer in the face. Upon further inspection of the vehicle, police say they found marijuana and some beer. Horace is being charged with OWI, possession of controlled substance, and assaulting a police officer.
And it was over before it could begin. Donald Trump announced today that he will not be hosting the Republican presidential debate he had scheduled for December 27th in Des Moines. With candidates dropping out of the debate left and right, the debate's sponsor, Newsmax, posted to their website on Monday that they were going ahead as planned. But Tuesday, Trump said he was bowing out to try and avoid a conflict of interest. Trump says he is still considering running for president as an independent if he is not satisfied with the eventual winner of the GOP nomination. And now for everything Hawkeye athletics, let's send it over to Daily Iowan TV's Giovanna Stimic in sports.
Thanks, guys. You always hear about Hawkeye football players that get drafted to the NFL or continue to pursue their football dreams. But what about all the players that come through the program that don't make an NFL roster? Daily Iowan TV Sports' Chelsea Byrne had a chance to catch up with one of those players who's chasing a different dream and has decided to do it right here at the UI.
Hawk fans only have to look back to last season to know who Colin Sandeman is. Number 22 played 4 years for Iowa and then hung up his cleats, not pursuing any type of football career after that. Instead, he stayed in Iowa City and traded his time spent at Kinnick for time spent here at the University of Iowa Studio Arts Building. Colin gave me the chance to sit down with him one afternoon and hear all about his other passion that has nothing to do with football. After graduation, Sandeman was accepted into the graduate program at the University of Iowa for 3D design. He is now a teaching assistant in the art department and is on a career path he hadn't even intended to take.
I took one art class. I've always liked art. I drew a lot in high school and stuff. And I took one art class here, and that kind of sprung me forward.
And even though it started with drawing, he was soon swept up into 3D design. But what is 3D design? From chairs to bikes to 3D figurines, Colin has the skills to build pretty much anything.
This is a light fixture, and like we printed it out. That's just like a hotel that I made. I made this guy, and I put in some rain, and then you can add lighting and stuff, and then you can take renders and take pictures of it and then make posters and stuff.
Sitting with Sandeman for even 15 minutes, you can tell how passionate he is about what he is now doing with his life.
It's stuff like this is just so addicting. Once you start, you just can't really, it's not like it's a chore. It's fun.
It might be a far cry from his football days, but it has become what Colin loves the most. Chelsea Byrne, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
One thing Sandeman said he loved was the fact that he was still able to be close to the Hawkeye football program. He said his first game was really weird though, as he's definitely not used to sitting in the stands. And as the semester winds down, we continue to hand out our Daily Iowan TV Sports Awards. Last night, Marvin McNutt was awarded the Male Athlete of the Semester, and tonight we award the Female Athlete of the Semester to freshman soccer player Chloe Lacasse. I caught up with Chloe to hear her thoughts about being named Athlete of the Semester and the Iowa soccer program. Freshman Chloe Lacasse has had a big impact on the Iowa women's soccer team. The leading scorer for the Hawkeyes believes that despite the early knockout in the Big Ten tournament, the team made an improvement throughout the season.
To me, like, any honor means a lot. Like, I didn't know really what to expect coming in here, but I think for myself anyways, I think it was a pretty good season and the team did really well, improving from 12th place to 5th. So overall it was a really good season for us.
However, there is still a lot of improvements to be made if the team wants to have a repeat of this season.
We know that we have things to improve on. Like, we're definitely going to work on attacking a little more as a team together. And this year we were happy to make the Big Ten, but obviously we wanted a better outcome.
Although Lacasse loves scoring goals, it's more of a team effort to get the win.
Well, to me, like, scoring goals is never really the main objective. It's always just winning, and like whatever it takes to put the ball in the net doesn't matter as long as it goes in.
With past experience in the Big Ten tournament, Lacasse and the Hawkeyes know exactly what they have to do to come out on top.
I think we're going to do a lot better, knowing what to come in, like we're coming into something, like we know what to expect, what we're going into.
Looking ahead, Chloe and the team are working hard in their off-season to make their Big Ten title dream come true. Giovanna Simic, Daily Iowan TV Sports. Was the top scorer on the team with 12 goals this season, and she has been named one of the 2011 Women's Freshman Top 100 Players to Watch. So John, Megan, a great season for Lacasse, but also a great season for senior Morgan Showalter, who has been named to the regional team by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ivana, and only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into Wednesday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Find out why the Sycamore Mall is struggling even as the shopping season heats up.
Plus, why veterans are returning from war and having a harder time than most trying to find a job.
And before we go, here's one last look at Wednesday's forecast. Tomorrow's high will be an incredible 52 degrees with a 90% chance of rain throughout the day and an overnight low of just 36.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
For Daily Iowan TV, thanks for watching and have a great day.